From an early age, subtle signs began to reveal themselves within you. They weren't obvious phenomena, but rather small gestures, feelings, and perceptions that, when pieced together, indicated that something special pulsed within your soul. Although these seemed like common things, each moment carried a significance that would only be understood over time. These signs were no coincidence. They were like seeds planted to prepare you for what was to come. Do you remember those afternoons when, while other children were distracted, you preferred to sit and observe the sky, the movement of clouds, or the subtle nuances of light reflecting on the leaves of trees? The simple sound of running water or the breeze gently blowing gave you a sense of deep peace. It was as if every element of nature, even in its simplicity, was offering you a message. This connection to the natural world was far more than mere childhood curiosity. It was a tuning into the energies of creation. While others saw only trees or rivers, you perceived a constant flow of life and wisdom coming from these elements. To many, this sensitivity might seem like a small detail, but for you, it was a reflection of a soul in tune with greater forces. Children who lose themselves in moments of contemplation like this are often old souls with a calling to serve humanity through a mission of healing, wisdom, and enlightenment. From a young age, you also noticed something unusual, a profound ability to feel the pain and joy of others. Just being around someone in distress was enough for you to sense their energy, as if it were your own. Do you recall those moments when, just seeing someone sad, you felt their sadness as deeply as if it were your own? Children your age typically don't possess this level of empathy and sensitivity, but you carried something more, something that made your heart resonate at the same frequency as others, especially those in pain. This gift, which might have been seen as excessive sensitivity, is, in fact, one of the first signs that you were destined to help and understand the world's sorrows. Empathy is a direct link to your mission. It enables you to see beyond the surface and feel what is hidden in the depths of the human soul. And this, from an early age, was preparing you for a life of compassion and service to others. Throughout childhood, you may have experienced moments of pure intuition. Perhaps you were about to make a simple decision, like choosing a path home or deciding whether to go out and play, and something within you already knew the answer. Intuition presented itself as a quiet voice, an inexplicable feeling guiding you in seemingly ordinary moments. Even in decisions that seemed insignificant, there was a certainty that arose from within, without any logical explanation. This inner sense was one of the first glimpses of your connection to a greater wisdom. Unlike other children, you carried a kind of emotional radar, a guide that protected and directed you, even in the simplest situations. While most couldn't understand this intuition, for you, it became a constant point of reference. Each time you listened to and followed this impulse, it strengthened, becoming an essential part of your journey. Chosen ones are often protected from an early age by invisible forces. Perhaps you went through moments where an accident or dangerous incident could have occurred, but somehow you were spared. You may have decided, without apparent reason, not to take a particular route one day, only to later discover that something bad had happened there. These moments of protection aren't coincidences. They are clear signs that there is a special purpose for your life, and that you are being carefully guided. This sense of protection may even be seen by others as luck or chance, but for the chosen, it's a reminder that their journey is guided and safeguarded from the beginning. Every moment where something prevented you from being in harm's way is proof of a protective force by your side. And throughout childhood, this protection served to reinforce the idea that you were never alone, and that your life was being led with purpose and care. Another common sign among the chosen is the feeling of not fully belonging to the environment or group they are in. Even as a child, perhaps you felt that there was something different about you, something that didn't quite fit with the games, conversations, and interests of others. While your friends were concerned with common games and activities, you often found yourself reflecting on deeper issues, such as the meaning of life or why certain things happened. This sense of disconnection may have been difficult since the need to belong is strong, especially in childhood. But in reality, this feeling was a preparation for what was to come. Not being fully aligned with the interests and thoughts of the group was actually a sign that you were destined for a unique journey, one that would require a deep connection with yourself and higher forces. From a young age, many chosen individuals have a special bond with animals. Perhaps you notice that animals behave differently around you. Dogs that calm down near you, cats that seem to watch you intently, or birds that land close by as if recognizing your energy. For many children, animals are just playmates, but for you, they seem to see something more, something in your energy that brings peace and harmony. This harmony with animals is another clear sign that there is something special within you. They sense your presence in a way that most people cannot. Animals possess a perception beyond human senses and can detect subtle energies. When they approach or behave differently around you, they are in fact responding to the light and harmony you carry. It's as if they recognize that you are someone with a special mission, someone with a vibration they can trust and find comfort in. Since a young age, you could sense something beyond what the eyes could see, a perception of what was hidden in the world around you. Perhaps you experienced an inexplicable sense of calm in quiet places, or conversely, felt restless upon entering certain spaces or being near people with disturbed energies. This kind of sensitivity is uncommon in children, yet you seem to possess an inner compass that alerted you to good or negative energies, as if there was something deeper in each situation and place. This feeling wasn't a coincidence. It's what many call spiritual sensitivity, an openness to the subtle vibrations of the universe, allowing you to feel what others overlook. As you grew, this sensitivity became more evident, making you feel different and perhaps even uncomfortable in situations that others found normal. This deeper feeling was one of the first signs that you were not here merely to experience the world like everyone else, but to understand it with a wisdom that transcends the physical. Another common trait among the chosen from childhood is having vivid dreams laden with symbolism, messages, and even premonitions. You may remember intense, detailed dreams that felt more real than reality itself upon waking. These dreams weren't mere coincidences. They carried meanings that, though not fully understood, were intended to guide or warn you. These dreams may have left lasting impressions, like visions of future events, recurring symbols, or the presence of familiar figures whom you had never met. Unlike most children, for whom dreams are just reflections of their imagination, you possessed a natural bridge to other dimensions and realities. These dreams were signs that your soul was connected to something greater, receiving guidance and insights directly from the spiritual plane. Even at a tender age, you may have felt different regarding time and the meaning of life. While other children lived with the carefree spontaneity typical of childhood, you sometimes found yourself pondering deeper questions. Perhaps you wondered what it means to be alive, or what the purpose of everything around you was. These profound questions revealed that you carried a spirit, seeking answers only fully understood later in life. These early questions are distinctive traits of the chosen, carrying within their essence a connection to the larger purpose of existence. As a child, you already had the curiosity to deeply understand what many only begin to seek in adulthood. This sense of search and spiritual restlessness was an indication that your spirit bore an innate wisdom, as if it had already lived and experienced other realities. Another sign that emerges in childhood is the ability to observe the world with an attention that few possess. You were the type of child who, instead of getting lost in distractions, was captivated by small details: a leaf falling in the wind, the glimmer of sunlight in a puddle, or the unique shape of each stone. To you, everything around seemed to hold a message, a beauty, and a purpose. This ability to capture seemingly insignificant details was a reflection of your gift of deeper understanding. Chosen children possess this attentive gaze towards the world because they intuitively know that each detail holds a piece of the whole. While others wandered distractedly, you viewed the world with a curious eye, almost as if you knew that everything around had a special meaning. This attention was what prepared you from a young age to observe and understand nuances that, in adulthood, would become essential on your journey. Even before fully understanding concepts like justice or kindness, you already felt a strong inclination to defend what you believed to be right. Just witnessing any form of injustice, however small, would stir something inside you, a natural impulse to protect, correct, or comfort. This sense of justice, combined with genuine compassion, indicated from early on that your soul was in tune with elevated values, carrying within it the mission to bring harmony and balance. Do you remember situations where, even without needing to, you cared to help someone or defend something you considered important? These moments of compassion, often directed toward people, animals, or even unfair situations, were not in vain. From a young age, your soul already knew that your mission was linked to protecting and healing what is most precious in the world: truth, justice, and love for others. Another recurring sign among the chosen is a fascination with spiritual and mystical themes from a very young age. Perhaps you remember questioning the existence of something beyond what was visible, wondering about the existence of God, angels, or what happens after death. This innate interest is uncommon among children, yet for the chosen, it naturally arises as a way to seek and understand reality beyond the surface. This fascination was, in truth, a manifestation of your spirit seeking answers. Children with this type of curiosity have a direct connection with universal wisdom and are drawn to topics that challenge the material understanding of the world. This quest, which may have seemed unusual or even strange in the eyes of others, was a clear sign that your soul was already in tune with a spiritual purpose that would become even clearer as you grew older. As you advanced into adolescence, the signs that manifested in childhood began to intensify. Adolescence is a time when the spirit and mind undergo profound transformations, and for someone with a special purpose, this phase brings out more indications of their unique journey. Feelings of disconnection and the search for a greater purpose become more intense, and you start to realize that paths that once seemed clear now open to something much deeper and more complex. During adolescence, this sense of not fitting in became stronger and sometimes even challenging. While your peers were concerned with common activities and interests, fashion, parties, sports, and social matters, you found yourself seeking answers to more meaningful questions. Why are we here? What is the purpose of life? What exists beyond this physical world? These questions naturally arose within you, an urgent need to understand the deeper meaning of existence. While other teenagers focused on worldly experiences, you felt a restlessness toward the superficial and fleeting. This feeling of not belonging may have been difficult to handle, but it was a clear reflection that your soul was already on a much higher spiritual path. Although it might have brought a sense of isolation, This disconnection was actually a call for you to turn inward and find a meaning that the external world could not offer. At this stage, your intuition, which previously manifested in small moments, began to become a constant presence. You may have felt, for instance, that you knew what someone was thinking or feeling, even without that person saying a word. Or perhaps you could predict what was about to happen in a specific situation. This intuitive perception went beyond what seemed logical, arising as an innate knowledge you increasingly trusted. Some of these intuitive moments may have been surprising and even confusing for a teenager, but for you, they brought an inexplicable certainty. Decisions that others would consider irrational made sense to you, and more, you found yourself guided by this inner voice. It was as if a part of you was connected to a source of wisdom beyond common understanding. And this connection was indeed one of the greatest gifts the universe had granted you to follow your path. During adolescence, many chosen ones begin to take an even greater interest in spiritual and mystical subjects. What once was a curiosity about nature and the energy around you now transforms into a deeper desire to understand spiritual and mystical truths. You may have felt drawn to topics like meditation, spirituality, philosophy, or even esotericism. While others focused on transient things, you sought answers that could unveil the mysteries of the universe. This interest was not just a phase, it was a reflection of your soul seeking knowledge to help you understand your own mission. Books, films, music, or conversations about the spiritual caught your attention uniquely, as if there was a hidden truth that needed to be uncovered. This drive to go beyond the material world indicated that you were already in tune with something greater, with a purpose that involved the pursuit of spiritual wisdom. In adolescence, many chosen ones begin to have more intense dreams filled with symbolism and, at times, even premonitions. Perhaps you experienced dreams where you saw people or situations that would only happen sometime later, or that contained clear messages about your life and choices. These dreams may have seemed unusual, but they were a way for the universe to communicate with you. These dream experiences became more vivid, like a door opening to other dimensions. Upon waking, the memories of these dreams lingered, often with a sense of purpose. Unlike common dreams, they carried a clarity and depth that could not be ignored. These visions, often mysterious, were a constant reminder that your soul was connected to higher planes and that you were receiving guidance to walk your path. Another common sign that emerges in adolescence is the persistent feeling that you are destined for something greater. Even without fully understanding what this means, you feel in moments of introspection that there is a calling, a mission waiting to be fulfilled. It's as if something inside you were preparing for a special purpose, a journey that set you apart from the common interests of those around you. This feeling of having a greater purpose does not fade. Instead, it becomes increasingly present. It's a sense of urgency, almost as if you were being called to act, to learn, and to grow in preparation for something to come. While others may see this as a burden or responsibility, for you, it is an essential part of who you are, something you already accept as truth, even if you don't fully understand it yet. Adolescence also brought a series of internal conflicts and questions that you may have found difficult to express. Unlike most teenagers, who grapple with self-doubt and wonder about their place in the world, you faced deeper existential crises. You questioned the meaning of life, the purpose of pain and suffering, and what it means to be yourself in a world that often seems indifferent. These intense questions were not just reflections of a developing mind, but of a soul seeking answers. This inner conflict, although challenging, was an essential preparation for your journey. Every doubt, every crisis, Every question served to shape and strengthen your spiritual identity, making you increasingly aware of your purpose. During adolescence, the experiences of protection and luck in risky situations became more evident. Perhaps you went through situations that could have ended negatively, yet somehow you were spared from harm. Whether it was a last-minute decision that kept you away from an accident, an inexplicable urge to avoid a dangerous path, or even a premonition that something bad was about to happen. These experiences were a form of spiritual protection. These moments of luck may have seemed coincidental, but they were manifestations of invisible forces guiding and protecting you. The protection you felt around you served as a constant reminder that your life had a purpose, and that, despite the challenges, you were being watched over and prepared for something greater. Over the years, these experiences molded your confidence, making it clear that you were not alone and that your journey was guided. As you transitioned into adulthood, many of the signs that were present in childhood and adolescence began to manifest with even more clarity and frequency. Adulthood is often a phase of significant changes and important decisions, and for the chosen, this phase brings spiritual maturity that prepares them to fulfill their mission with more determination and courage. The signs that were once subtle now become evident, as if the universe is guiding you towards your true purpose. Many chosen individuals experience a period of intense emotional and spiritual turbulence upon entering adulthood. Whether through a personal crisis, a significant loss, a breakup, or even a professional failure, you may have felt destabilized, as if the ground was being pulled from beneath your feet. However, it is precisely in these moments of pain and difficulty that something profound begins to emerge within you. The crisis is not just an obstacle, but an opportunity to awaken to a new reality. As you face this turmoil, you realize there is an inner strength that sustains you, something you hadn't known you possessed. These challenging moments serve as catalysts for your transformation, offering clarity about who you truly are and what you are destined to do. What seemed like an end becomes the beginning of a new phase, where every battle won reveals a part of your purpose and strengthens your faith and resilience. With maturity, many chosen individuals feel an increasing desire to help others, a calling that goes beyond any social obligation or external expectation. This impulse is not motivated by ego or vanity, but by a profound sense that you have gifts and abilities that can impact the lives of others. Perhaps you feel the urge to serve through a career in healing, spiritual guidance, teaching, or another form of service. This need to contribute is not a burden, but a realization that your purpose involves making a difference for those around you. This desire to serve is one of the clearest signs that you understand your mission. As your heart opens to help others, you realize that you are aligned with your divine purpose. Every act of kindness, every word of support, and every gesture of compassion reflects your connection to the universe and the understanding that your life has a greater meaning. In adulthood, signs and synchronicities become more frequent and intense, almost impossible to ignore. You may begin to notice repeated patterns around you, such as frequently appearing numbers, unexpected encounters with people who bring important messages, or situations that align in an almost magical way. These synchronicities are more than coincidences. They are reminders from the universe that you are on the right path, being guided at every step. These experiences encourage you to keep moving forward, even in times of doubt. They are like clues that confirm your choices are aligned with your purpose. Each synchronicity brings a sense of peace and certainty, as if the universe is conspiring for you to be exactly where you need to be. This sense of alignment instills a confidence that motivates you to explore your potential and mission even more deeply. While many around you pursue material stability, professional achievements, and conformity to social expectations, you may start to feel disconnected from these common goals. Things that once seemed important, such as a conventional career or material achievements, begin to lose their appeal. It's not that you disdain these achievements, but you realize they don't bring the fulfillment your soul seeks. Something far deeper is calling to you, something that cannot be found in external accomplishments. This disconnection from worldly expectations is one of the clearest signs that you are being called on a spiritual journey. What once seemed vital now feels small compared to what your soul desires. You begin to understand that your true purpose is not in following societal norms and ideals, but in discovering your truth and living by it. This detachment from external conventions frees you to follow your own path, exploring what truly matters on your spiritual journey. As adulthood progresses, many chosen individuals feel an increasing need for introspection and solitude. You may find yourself valuing moments of peace and silence away from the distractions of the external world. Meditation, reflection, and self-analysis become essential practices, and this time spent in silence is not isolation, but a reconnection with your own essence. This urge to turn inward is a call to listen to the voice of your intuition. As you cultivate solitude, you realize that the answers you were seeking externally are, in fact, within you. The time you dedicate to self-knowledge is an investment in your spiritual clarity, for it is in this silent space that your intuition strengthens and your mission becomes clearer. This inward journey is an essential part of the chosen's path, as it prepares you to listen to and follow the voice of your purpose with confidence. In adulthood, many chosen ones develop an unwavering trust in their intuition. This inner voice, which has always guided you, now becomes a powerful tool for making important decisions. While others around you may rely on logical advice and external analyses, you find yourself increasingly trusting your intuitive perceptions, even if these choices defy conventions or apparent logic. Making decisions based on intuition may seem risky, but for you, it is a natural path. This inner wisdom is one of the greatest gifts you have received, a direct connection to a source of knowledge beyond the rational mind. Each time you follow this guidance, your confidence grows, and you realize that this intuition always leads you to the right place, aligned with your purpose. This intuitive gift is one of the clearest signs that you are being guided by something greater, a divine presence that directs you in every stage of your journey. As you advance in adulthood, you begin to naturally attract people and experiences that resonate with your spiritual journey. Like a magnet, your energy brings close those who share the same quest for truth, purpose, and wisdom. These individuals come into your life at crucial moments, offering support, inspiration, and companionship on your path. These encounters are not coincidences. They are manifestations of the universe, guiding you and surrounding you with souls who understand and strengthen your mission. These connections are deep and go beyond superficial interactions. Each person who crosses your path brings a lesson or message that helps illuminate your next step. These friendships, partnerships, or mentorships become sources of encouragement and learning, reminding you that you are not alone and that your journey is shared by other chosen ones. These spiritual connections become a valuable support, helping you understand more about yourself and what you are destined to accomplish. Throughout adulthood, you may experience moments of protection that border on the miraculous. Perhaps there's a decision you were about to make, only to avoid it at the last minute due to a premonition, sparing yourself from negative consequences. Or maybe you faced an imminent risk, and somehow something intervened to protect you. These moments are not mere coincidences. They are clear signs that you are being guided and protected by invisible forces. These experiences reinforce your confidence and faith, Each time you sense this protective presence, you have the certainty that you are being cared for, and that your life has a purpose that must be fulfilled. These divine interventions are reminders that you are not alone, and that even in the most challenging moments, a greater force watches over you and guides your steps. As you progress in adulthood, a need emerges to leave a mark, a legacy that transcends your own existence. This legacy doesn't have to be grand or public, but it's a desire to positively impact future generations. Perhaps you feel the urge to share your wisdom through writing, teaching, or simply being an example to those around you. This desire is a reflection of your understanding that your purpose goes beyond your own achievements. It involves planting seeds of light and wisdom that will endure. This urgency to leave a legacy is a sign that you are in tune with your divine purpose, realizing that your journey is not just for your own growth, but to benefit others. The impact you have on the lives around you is an extension of your spiritual calling, and every action or lesson you leave behind becomes part of your legacy as a chosen one. In the stage of spiritual maturity, the signs become crystal clear, and the chosen one begins to understand their purpose with clarity. What once seemed enigmatic now reveals itself as part of a greater plan, where every experience, challenge, and connection accumulated over the years aligns to form a legacy. Over time, a deep inner peace arises. The search for external answers gives way to a calm certainty that everything you have gone through was essential to shape and prepare you. This serenity does not mean an absence of challenges, but rather an unwavering confidence that, no matter what happens, you are where you need to be, protected and guided. In maturity, the desire to leave a legacy intensifies. Your words, actions, and even your presence become sources of inspiration for others. You understand that your mission is to radiate light and wisdom, offering support to those still searching for their own path. As you recognize that everyone is on their own journey, you feel a natural compassion for the struggles of others. This genuine empathy is the true power of the chosen one, to see beyond appearances, embracing the souls that cross your path with love and understanding. In the end, you realize that everything, from the signs in childhood to the experiences of adulthood, prepared you to be a beacon. As a chosen one, your mission is clear: to serve, inspire, and transform with humility and light.